Hi, my name is Maceo Lewis, and welcome to my sports channel, ML Sports Talk. That's ML space sports space talk, no underscores on YouTube. So hit the subscribe button so you can see my latest posts and commentary on the games that I attend and watch on TV. So today I want to talk about the Duke Houston Final Four game that came on yesterday. And basically, I just want to address the question. I know it's going to probably come up on Monday morning shows. The question is probably going to be, did Houston win it or did Duke lose it? Another form of the question is, did Duke choke? I'm going to contend that Houston won this game. The reason why I'm going to say Houston won this game is, number one, put it in the context of what Duke has done throughout the season and in the NCAA tournament. So Duke, I'm looking at their last four games in the tournament, has scored over 85 points a game. I mean, they scored 85 points against Alabama, 100 against Arizona. Baylor, they scored 89 and 93 against Mount St. Mary's. So Duke is a high scoring team. Houston is known to be a defensive team. They held Duke to 67 points, so almost 18 points under their lowest score before that. So Houston did what it needed to do in terms of defense. The question that I had about Houston, and most people did, is whether or not they could score enough to overcome Duke. And of course, I had picked Duke to get to the championship game, so I thought that Duke was going to make it, but Houston did what they needed to do. They needed to score and they play defense and they made key free throws and score in the end. So I think when it's all said and done, Houston won the game. And no, I don't think Duke choked. Now, it's a fair argument point to make because Duke was up by at as much as 14 points in the game. So let me break it down. So basically what happened was at the beginning of the game, Houston scored first, but at about 14 minutes and 42 seconds, Duke took its first lead at 8-6. I believe Cooper Flag hit a three at that point. And they basically led throughout the whole game until the very end, late in the second half. Duke at one point was up at 18-9 with 9:11 left in the first half. And fast forwarding to or later in the half, Duke was up by 12 with 2 minutes left in the first half, 2 minutes and 7 seconds. They were up as high as 14 at 11:54 in the second half, and then they had they tied their highest lead at 14 at 59:45 at 8:17 left. So at 8:17 left in the game, Duke's up by 14 points, 59-45. The final score ends up being 70-67. So Houston basically outscores Duke 11-14, right? So what happened here? So basically, Houston scores 8 straight points after the score was 59-45. So that was about 5:40. The score was 59-53, and Cooper Flag misses a jump shot. Houston misses. Proctor scores, makes the score 61-55, and then Cooper Flag hits a big three, making the score 64-57. Cooper Flag had a huge block, knocking the ball out of bounds. It was like a huge play. It was 64-55. So it seemed like Duke was had the momentum. They were gonna be holding on to this game with almost 3 minutes left, and then Houston scores, so it's 64-57. Sharp gets fouled, makes two free throws, making it 64-59. They scored two more points, Houston, so it's 66-61. Fast forward to the last score, which was a free throw by Kneppel, making the score 67-61. It was a 1-and-1, so he missed the second free throw. And I believe Tugler blocked Kneppel on the putback, and Sharp hit a three for Houston, cutting the score to 67-64. Um, then let's see here. There was a miss by Duke. The offensive, no, Houston got a steal. They missed it. Offensive rebound. Um, well, they got a dunk off offensive rebound. The score was 67-66. So the basically Houston had cut it to one, and then at about 19 seconds left, Roberts gets fouled. He makes two clutch free throws, and that's when Houston basically takes the lead in the game. At about 19 seconds left at 68-67. Of course, Duke never scored since they got 67. And to pretty much ice the game, Houston gets fouled, and then I believe it was Cry who made the last two free throws to make it 70-67. I believe Duke tried to get a shot off, but Houston's defense forced them to throw up like a prayer, and it just sailed way out of bounds, and the game was over. So, look, I don't think Duke choked. I think Houston played good defense down the stretch like they always do. They made key free throws, especially in the last few seconds, to retake the lead with only 19 seconds left, and hit key free throws and held on, prevented them from scoring. Played good defense, forced them to miss jumpers, throw up a prayer at the last second that obviously wasn't answered for Duke, and Houston won the game. So anyway, that's my take on the game. I did have Duke getting to the end and against Florida, but that turned out to be wrong. Again, I'm not like a Duke fan or anything. In fact, historically, I root against Duke. But this season, I thought they had a really good team. In fact, I was sweating because I thought I made the wrong pick at the beginning of the playoffs with Florida over Duke. But Houston proved me and a bunch of people wrong. I believe only 9% of the people picked Houston. So a lot of us are wrong about Houston, but they played a great game. So now I'm going to watch the women's final, and hopefully I'll post a review of that either later today or tomorrow. And I'll probably do my analysis of who I think is going to win between Houston and Florida. Hopefully, I'll obviously post that before the game on Monday. But anyway, I'm about to watch the women's game right now. So until then, again, subscribe. I'm at ML Sports Talk on YouTube. Thank you.